The Michelin Pilot Sport 5 versus the Pirelli Cinturato C3, a crossover battle between sport and touring philosophies. Launched in 2022, the Michelin Pilot Sport 5 represents Michelin's latest ultra-high performance tyre, engineered for strong grip, precise steering, and engaging driving dynamics. Facing it is the 2025 launch Pirelli Cinturato C3, a modern touring-focused summer tyre designed around efficiency, comfort, and everyday safety. So the key question is simple. Can a comfort-focused touring tyre challenge the sporty DNA of the Pilot Sport 5? Let's find out. Throughout this video, the performance metrics are expressed in percentages, with the Michelin Pilot Sport 5 set as the reference point at 100%. The data source comes from the Autobuild 2026 summer tyre test. In wet braking, the Pirelli Cinturato C3 stops 0.3 meters shorter, translating to a roughly 1% advantage. In straight-line aquaplaning, the C3 maintains controls 0.9 km per hour longer, translating to roughly a 1% advantage in water resistance. In wet handling, the C3 carries 0.7 km per hour more speed, giving it another 1% advantage in cornering grip. Driver confidence also favors Pirelli. In subjective wet handling, the C3 scores 0.7 points higher, equal to about a 4% advantage. Overall, the Cinturato C3 shows small but consistent advantages across every wet test, highlighting its strong focus on wet safety. Dry braking between two tyres are almost identical. The Cinturato C3 stops just 0.1 meters shorter, which is effectively no real difference. However, dry handling clearly favors Michelin. The Pilot Sport 5 carries 1.3 km per hour higher speed around the handling course, translating to roughly a 1% advantage in cornering performance. The biggest difference appears in subjective dry handling, where the Pilot Sport 5 scores 2.7 points higher, giving it about a 13% advantage in driver-rated handling feel. Overall, while braking is essentially equal, the Pilot Sport 5 delivers a noticeably sharper and more engaging dry driving experience. Durability favors Michelin. In the projected lifespan, the Pilot Sport 5 lasts about 9,300 km longer, which equals roughly to a 16% advantage in mileage. However, the Cinturato C3 shows slightly lower tread material loss, with 33 grams less abrasion, translating to about a 2% advantage in material wear rate. Overall, Michelin delivers again in longer overall lifespan, while Pirelli focused on efficient tread compound management. In ride comfort, the two tyres are perfectly matched. Both score exactly the same subjective comfort, meaning there's no measurable difference in ride quality. In noise levels, the Michelin Pilot Sport 5 is 0.9 dB quieter, translating to roughly a 1% advantage in cabin refinement. When it comes to efficiency, the Cinturato C3 records 0.27 lower rolling resistance coefficient value, translating to about a 3% advantage in efficiency. When it comes to pricing, in the tested 245/45 R19 size, the Pirelli Cinturato C3 is roughly 22% cheaper than the Michelin Pilot Sport 5. In summary, the Pirelli Cinturato C3 impresses with slightly stronger wet performance, lower rolling resistance, and a significantly lower price, making it a very appealing choice for drivers focused on safety, efficiency, and value. On the other hand, the Michelin Pilot Sport 5 stands out with sharper dry handling, longer mileage, and slightly lower noise, reinforcing its position as a more performance-oriented tyre.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.